Doing the right thing is not always easy. Doing the right thing by others is a lot easier than doing the right thing for thyself. And what I mean is, a lot of times we ride or die for people around us, right? We give our last. But then when it comes down to standing up for ourselves, a lot of times we give ourselves the short end of the stick. How many people can really stand up and take self-accountability about what I'm saying right now? Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, man, I failed you 1,000 times, if not more, right? It was family members I've been supposed to have walk away from, and I constantly kept putting you in these situations. There were relationships that I supposed to have been walk away from, but I kept putting you in situations to get caught up in the crossfire. You know, I talked to someone yesterday. It was two people I talked to yesterday. The first person I talked to, through the conversation, they ended up saying, man, I thank you for believing in me. And I told this person, sometimes I feel / know I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm outside of you, looking at you and seeing the decisions that you're choosing to make, the decisions and the situations you're choosing to stay in, while yet try to evolve. And it don't work like that. It's like sandbags in your hot air balloon basket. You can only go so high before you start coming back down. And I say that with all love. See, we got to be willing to take what the universe uses through others as a guiding light to help us on our path. See, the other person I spoke to, I was at work, and something just told me to go over and talk to him, because I'm always put in situations where I'm there to share a message as well as there to be given a message. God is always a two-way street, right? And you got to be that void, that fluid substance that can be formed and shaped in however fashion need be at that moment in time, right? This other individual, he was telling me, man, you know, he just wished that he could get a second chance at starting over on his own before he had a woman. He said his woman ain't work a job in 7 years. He's paying everything, and it's like he loved the well and he want to start his own business, but it's like he paying this bill, that bill. He paying for when they go out. He's paying for just everything. And he said, man, I'm tired, man. It's like I just want to do better, and I don't want to leave her hanging because she's been there for me through thick or thin. You know, she's older than me, so she taught me a lot and I taught her a lot, but we also both hurt each other through cheating, through the way we talk to each other, through different ways and aspects, right? But he been like, it's just right now, it's like I don't know, man. I want better, but I always told myself if I get a second chance, I would stay alone and get myself all the way together before I get with another. And I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna just tell you like this, you know, and this is something I said across other videos in the past, and that's that two halves don't make a whole. We walked out of the garden before we became ripe to be picked, right? Meaning picked by God. And he choose our mate, right? Because then we would then reflect, like we always do, who we are. But with you being ripe, you being righteous, meaning all the way ready and prepared due to being trained for this war that we're in, right? We are all soldiers of the Most High, family. Some choose to go through the basic training, learn all they need to learn, and then they get on the battlefield. While others choose to back out. Basic training was too hard. I can't do this. I can't walk away from this family member. That's my sister. Oh, that's my brother. No, that's my mother. That's my dad. I can't walk away from them, Most High. Well, you're not ready. And until you're ready, you're going to have to dwell amongst these ones until you get tired of being portrayed, get tired of not being able to be yourself, get tired of not being able to open up and be vulnerable. Get tired of hearing the same old robotic conversations that really don't help you or them. Meaning the conversation that sounds like, hey, what you doing? What you did all day? Oh, where the kids at? Oh, let me talk to the kids. Oh, y'all good? All right, well, I'll talk to y'all later. That's what I call robotic conversations. No heart is involved. It's pre-rehearsed. You've been doing it so long on autopilot, you don't know how to really be authentic and be in the present moment, right? And as chosen ones, we pick up on that early in our age. Because as a chosen one, you go through this training in an early age where your mother has maybe mistreated you. You know, your childhood been stripped away because you had to take up some of her duties due to her not getting herself together before she had kids, right? You go through so much heartache and pain that it makes your heart so big, you never become bitter. That's the thing about a chosen one. All the pain we go through, we never become bitter. We never hate a person. That's like with me. Going through what I'm going through with my ex right now, I'm not bitter about it. And I know that although she didn't learn from her situation of her father being held from her in her childhood, and she only got to spend a couple months with him before he ascended to the next level, she still didn't learn that our kids need the father in their life. It's not about just money. That's why for me, myself, I gotta go for split custody, because I really want my kids to be able to see another part of life from the father's standpoint, the same way they get a chance to see a part of life from the mothers, right? So let's get back to the guy. So as I'm talking to him and telling him these certain things, his story started to resemble mine a lot. He had the same number of kids as me. He'd been welling about the same amount of time as me. He was feeling the same urge of change right now coming into his life, where he started saying, man, it was days that I didn't make my bed, but now I make my bed up. He started talking about simple stuff like that. He started talking about how he's starting to be so clean and neat now and trying to do better. He want to do better for himself. And I've been like, man, you know what? Think about it like this. You only get what you are in life, not what you want. And that goes for all of us. When you got with that woman, the same one when I got with different women, I was broken. So these women was broken. Like I was saying, we were all broken, whether we are aware of it or not. And it started when I started to really dig deep and go within myself due to starting to meditate, starting to really get on that healing journey, starting to sip stuff like tea, starting to really just take my time with myself. I started to realize my trauma and my brokenness started in my childhood. My heart got broken due to my mother and the lack of my father being there. And then the way I've been treated by the lack of support from my mother as a child. But then so much being asked of me as a child to be there for her, right? And I told him the same thing. He said, man, my mother and father together right now, married for so many plus years. But he said, everything that glitter ain't gold. Man, my mama used to go out and gamble a lot, and my father used to go and drink a lot. But they still ended up being together still yet. But it caused me and my siblings to wild out. We stealing cars at a young age. We all in the streets. And just because it looked like we were good because we had both parents, it wasn't. He said, man, I went to prison. When I got out of prison, I started changing my life when I became a welder, right? So like I told him, you attracted the woman you got because of the person that you were. You was an unhealed being, so you attracted another unhealed being. But in this day and age right now, that can't go no more. You're going to get what you deserve, and the others going to get what they deserve, meaning male or female. We all going to start to get who we are. And before we get who we are, the goal is for you to be willing to take time with yourself and be alone and heal. Become whole. If you wasn't whole before, where you were dependent on another person's income to help you, and then when that other person's income is now taken away from you, you feel like you got to do things to still get a piece of it. That's not righteousness. I don't care how many kids you got. You still should be able to have yourself in a situation where if the job ain't paying enough, you done invest in certain things that still yet help you and your kids be able to get what you need as well as what you want. That's what it's about. But when you don't do when we choose to stay around individuals that choose mediocrity over evolution, choose to stay with the old people, that have served their purpose. Everybody got a purpose and a time frame in your life. Some is for a short time and some is for a lifetime. And a lot of times you never meet those lifetime individuals until you get to a certain point or level of consciousness in your life. Till you get to a certain point of knowing thyself. And during that time, before you can get to that, it comes a time where you go through heartache, pain, losing so much stuff, tests, trials, almost losing yourself. But because you got the faith in something that you can't see but you can feel, you make it through. See, most ain't ready to go through what we are put here to go through in order to become who we are put here to be. Take a drink to that. But for see those ones that I'm talking about that do get through that, impossible becomes impossible. So if you're choosing right now to stay in situations, meaning with family members, friends, co-workers, whoever you want to call it, whatever title it is, knowing that it's not helping you elevate spiritually, get you closer to God, not you going to church, but them telling you and you understanding that church is within you. God is just in you. It's not about a building, family. You are the temple. Okay? If you are not willing to sit here and walk away from the world, you will never receive the promise. The dark one, the lower vibration can bless you to a certain extent, but it's not to the extent of everlasting. It's just for a short time. It's for like a 100-mile dash. It's not a marathon. Okay? But when God, the Most High, Mother and Father, gives that to you, it's for eternity. I cut the video short to say, throughout my journey, my finances have been targeted, my health been targeted, my family been targeted. Everything about me been targeted because I'm the one that's here to break the curse. And so are you, if you're seeing this. The same way I got one more set to do on these legs right here. I need you to know you gotta keep going too. To the next message, family. One love.